everybody, welcome. I am so excited about this particular micro school. Oh my goodness. Just wait till you experience these next 5 days. If you can, I want to see your fabulous faces on this screen with me. I do. And if what I'd like for you to drop in the chat is where you're from. And hi, Roberto. Hi, Susan. Oh my goodness, we got some new faces. Q, Roxana, where are you from? And is this like your first Genius U Entrepreneur Institute experience, or have you had a lot of them? Let me tell you something. While you're putting that on, I want to say bravo for you for being here, number one, because stepping up to practice your entrepreneur skills is one of the best things you can do. You know, I trained, many of you have heard, if you've heard my story before, I trained as a dancer, and I know that practice is what it's all about. We've got somebody joining us right now who I know is a skater. So no matter what kind of skill you are learning, entrepreneurship's the same way. You got to practice. And you need good teachers and good mentors to learn from. And that's what you're going to be experiencing over the next couple of days. And I just can absolutely not wait till we get this going. I'm glad you're here. Okay, so we've got Donna Isabella, which you are in for a treat with Donna today. She is the head mentor and in the whole of Entrepreneur Institute. So she's seriously, outstandingly amazing. And we've got some other great mentors over the course of the week. I'll introduce you to them in a minute, but Donna is here from Brisbane, Australia, and it is 1 o'clock in the morning, everybody. So give her some love. She needs love for being up at 1 o'clock in the morning.
Caffeine. I'll take caffeine as well if you can.
Caffeine
get a drone
too.
to drop it off.
A drone. I like that. We've got Johannesburg, Louisiana. We've got Toronto, Buenos Aires, Jensen Beach, Florida. I'm actually in Atlanta, so I've got the southern states covered. I know we've got some more Atlanta here. We've got South Carolina, Orlando. And yeah, tell me, is this your very first or like your 10th time joining us for something? So any of you who've been here before, you already know this. I've already said about practice. Here's the thing. You get going, you get started, and you keep practicing the skills that you're learning. You cannot practice them too many times. That's how you really get going as an entrepreneur and learning those skills. Now, there's a few things that I want to tell you. Hi, we've got An from Atlanta here. Hi, An from Atlanta. All right, I want to just show you a couple things real quick about what we're going to be learning and what we're going to be exploring. And I cannot wait. Okay, this is not what I want to do. I don't want to show you that. I want to give you this right here. All right, so we're here for the Entrepreneur Spectrum 5.0 Micro School, and this is the Nassau region. This is all about startup success. So when you're really learning to take things forward as an entrepreneur, this is where you do it. This is where you powerfully learn those skills. I've learned so much during my time with this company, and I'd already had 2 successful businesses, so I've really learned a lot as I've gone along. So you're going to be experiencing over the next couple of days Michelle Clark, who's the Chief Executive Officer of Entrepreneur Institute. I've already introduced you slightly, although you're going to get to hear a lot more from Miss Donna Isabella, who runs Crystal Circle, and she's the lead mentor and the head mentor. I'm, as you know, Lisa Michaels, and we have Laura Hartley, who both of us are success coaches for Crystal Circle, and each of us are facilitating one of the regions. And then we have the quite amazing Michelle Knowlting, who is head of partnerships. Really, if you've had the opportunity to connect with any of these women, you know what I'm talking about when I tell you they are outstanding and you have a remarkable week ahead of you.
I just realized, Lisa, we are an all-women faculty.
Yeah.
So space for the boys to come on in.
Yeah. We definitely, it's pretty remarkable actually. And we will be hearing from Roger, who is our guy holding up the other end of things. So yes. What is important is that we're in for 5 days of transformation. But as an entrepreneur, you may or may not realize this, but it all starts with you. Where you are, what you want your life to look like, what you want your business to look like in relation to your life. So we're going to be starting with that. We'll be talking about how you get into your natural flow in terms of what your genius is and how you work with that. We'll be connecting to your identity and how you stand in that in the marketplace, and then really master your market and then learn to monetize that. So you'll be really connecting to some powerful skills that you want to practice over and over and over again. So today we've got 3 outstanding sessions. You'll be playing a bigger game. You'll be learning more about the entrepreneur spectrum and then going into wealth dynamics. Each of the days has really powerful content. So the more you show up, and remember, it's that practice thing I was talking about. The more you show up to learn, to practice, to explore, the better. The more you step up as an entrepreneur in leading your business, in determining the way you want to go, the better results you're going to have. And the more you play full out here, the more of a difference it's going to make in your business. So you'll have something to submit each day. And so if you do those, that will dramatically propel you forward as well. And at the very end of today, I'm going to be staying to help you have some of the more details of exactly where to go, exactly what to do. I won't take your time doing that right now, but I absolutely will be going over that with you. And we'll be having office hours with Q&A with the mentors on day 2, day 3, and day 4. Now, this is pretty serious in terms of you making sure that you get your questions answered. Really, really, really super significant that you have that extra time. So we'll make sure you get all the things you need. Now, I don't normally show my slides like this, so they're a little slippy for me. So if you see me going back and forth, that's why. Now, we're in a contest. You may not know this, but we're in a competition, not only with everybody in this group, but with everybody in all of Entrepreneur Spectrum. And there are some great prizes. So by the end of the week, if you've submitted the best plan, you could win first place in Tau in February to do Wealth Dynamics Masters Live. What an amazing thing that's going to be. And then you also get Wealth Dynamics in October virtual, and the 2 runners up, or the second runner up and third runner up, are going to get WDM October virtual. If you've done WDM, put it in the chat. I did it in Bali, and then I facilitated it like 4 times. So, and then there's other things you can win throughout the week. So playing full out matters on multiple levels. So anything you want to share here, Donna, before I just keep chatting, like what's true for you?
Oh, sure. Well, I mean, I think it's important to probably let some people know where Tau is. Tau is in our game reserve in South Africa. So it's actually the name of the lodge. It's Tau Game Lodge there. So you just need to get yourself there, and then you have a complete full week, expenses paid, board, accommodation, food, the entire trip to join us in the stunning game reserve over there. So it is definitely a prize worth winning, worth being on here every day. Of course, this is about creating your businesses, but that's a pretty awesome prize, I would say.
Definitely. I mean, I know what it was to do it in Bali, and I would love to go to South Africa too. I mean, it is a powerful, powerful packed 5 days. And Online, it's absolutely virtually, it's absolutely great too. But I mean, if you can get there, what a thing to win that. What a powerful, powerful thing. Okay, so now I want to hear in the chat, or I want you to raise your hand. Who's like ready to go? Who's like ready to play a bigger game as an entrepreneur? Like, oh, there we go, Christy. Who else is ready to play a bigger game? Yes, learn to master more, learn to take it to the next level. Hi, Trish. Yay, yes for you. Okay, beautiful. All right, here we go. I'm going to play to win. Love it, Christy. Okay, so here we go. Miss Donna, do you want to start talking about this, or do you want me to?
No, you
Actually,
can
what I'm
hand
going
over
to
to me,
okay,
Lisa. Thank you so
okay, you go
much.
for it, beautiful. You go for it.
Well, it's awesome to be here with you all today. I was on this morning session with the EMEA and APAC guys. So this is round 2 for me today. So it's just going to be better than the first one. Doesn't matter that it's 1 a.m. I'm super excited to be here with you all. I see some familiar faces. Good to see you, my Crystal Circle members, and some other faces I haven't seen for some time. So love it. Thank you for all the personal messages coming through. Sorry, I can't get back to all of them fast enough. I will just when we move on to the next sessions. But I am in love with this program because whether you are starting out in business, maybe you're already have started and you're wanting to accelerate the attraction that you get from the marketplace, or maybe you've got an idea that you need to know, well, what's the first steps that I should do to make this a success? Or perhaps you're here as a seasoned entrepreneur and you're wanting to make sure that there's no gaps in the foundations, there's no cracks in the foundations, or you're here with your team perhaps to make sure you're really solid, mastering these steps and moving up into the scaling phase of your business. That is what this whole week is about. We, as Lisa shared, today is all about monetizing the wealth spectrum. It's about taking a look at you. We're going to set your vision. We're looking at where you play on the wealth spectrum and also where you play on the field. That's the profiles. But then over the next 4 days, we're digging deeper into really what we call, and if this language is new to you, it won't be after the session 2, the yellow level of the wealth spectrum, where it is about really getting your profile strong. So identifying your identity. Then it's about making sure that you understand your market really well so that you can attract great flow through the marketplace and shift from feeling like it's all this action and hustle and grind kind of energy to it flowing and attracting to you. That's the goal of mastering your market. And then we move on to monetizing your moment, because let's face it, we are here to make cash so you can make a bigger impact and do what you want in your life that you choose to design. So super excited on these next 5 days. It is about getting yourself ready for the next 90 days and really all the way through to the end of the year. We are going to set your plan. That is that monetizing your moment piece. But first, we're going to be taking a look at you and taking a moment to get clear on what we call 5.0 life actually looks like. 5.0 life, 5.0 business, that's what we're all about. Here, you get to redefine what has been your year, what has been, the characteristics that has got you to this point. You get to redefine that and create a new compelling future, not only what your external world looks like, but what your internal world looks like as well. So let's start, hey? Let's have a look at what a life 5.0 looks like. And I shall share my screen. Okay. All right. Can you see it nice and big there, Lisa?
Yep, looks fabulous.
Fabulous, fabulous. All righty. So really, this is having you move from perhaps a reacting to life and more into creating an intentional life and an inspired life. And also a business or businesses that grow in value and enable you to grow your personal worth and your personal wealth as well. So I do want to, same as Lisa, congratulate you for being here. There's no time like now to set yourself up to get in on the playing field of this whole entrepreneurial movement that we're in, and really start taking up the opportunities that are out there in the world. Either, again, to start a new business or expand your current business and just do things smarter. All of us share the problem that, over the past 10 years, business has changed rapidly. What was working 10 years ago doesn't work now. Welcome the last 2 years. The landscape has changed even more. It's shifted, massively changed. So we always need to be on our game, playing our best game, and being quite agile and decisive in the strategies that you make to make this work as well. There's always challenges, but there's always opportunities as well. And really, the key to mastering and turning these challenges into opportunities is about changing you. So it starts with you. So in these first part of the 5 days, creating the 5.0 business, this is, as I said, creating your 5.0 life. There's 4 main areas that we're going to look at for that. And it really takes you through from self-awareness through to self-mastery, through to self-expression, so that your business and your life really is feeling like a deeply fulfilled expression of yourself. The first step that we actually do, or the first area, is measuring your personal ikigai. Now, some of you have probably heard of the ikigai. Those who are on here and are also a part of my Crystal Circle groups or with Roger in Crystal Circle, we do this every quarter. We check in, we score the ikigai, and we see how is it that we are feeling fulfilled? Where are we not feeling fulfilled? And what can we do about shifting and changing it? So if this is the first time that you're doing it, it's going to be some great awareness for you. We'll get a chance to share in a moment with each other what you score in that as well, and some key actions that you're going to take. The second part of creating your life 5.0 is writing your compelling future vision. This is, who are you going to be and what's the world that you choose to live in 1 year from today? Again, maybe you've written your future vision quite a bit. What I love about doing it, not just once a year, but multiple times, is that if you are growing and evolving constantly, so will your future, your vision be growing and evolving as well. Same as whenever we do any of these scorings as to how do we feel right now, how satisfied are we with something, they're all very objective to this snapshot in time, but it's a great way to measure where you are and see what are the areas that you want to improve upon. So we're going to have a look at your future vision. Then we're moving into designing your perfect day. So what is the vision of your perfect day? And this is where it's no longer about in a year's time, it's about right now, today, tomorrow. What does your perfect day look like? Where are you giving the time to the things, that are important to you? And again, how do you become the best and highest expression of you? The final piece that we're going to look at in creating your 5.0 life is the commitment to your greater self. So the commitment to the you that is still coming into form already exists. It's just waiting for you to hand the baton over so that they can now come in and play the game. So we're going to write a commitment to your greater self, or you will be writing that. And also looking at what is the rhythm? How often are you going to review that in order for you to stay true? It's not about being excited today, making a promise, and then forgetting tomorrow morning when you wake up. I have been at fault of doing that. It's like 2 days later, I remember, hang on, what was that great intention that I had? We've all done that at different times. Maybe it's about going to the gym or healthy eating or something, but I know we all make promises to ourselves that we forget about. So we're not going to forget anymore. This is going to be, how do we remember to make that commitment to ourselves every single day? So let's kick off and have a look at the Ikigai. So the Ikigai is a Japanese concept over 5,000 years old that really is all about your reason for being. So just take a moment now and think, are you living your life where you feel you really are clear on your purpose, you're clear on the reason that you're here, and you feel in flow with that every single day? If you think, I don't even know what that looks like, that's okay. We're going to break it down into these 4 areas. But the Ikigai is where we get to integrate not only this fulfillment personally, but how we design a business to help you live that fulfilled Ikigai, reason for being as well. So we want to be making sure that you're maximizing, your whole reason for being here on the planet. So the Ikigai really integrates and interlinks 4 key areas that brings this into balance and make sure that it's moving forward. Again, keeping this in mind as you design your business over the coming days as well. So let's score what your Ikigai is. You can see in the picture, the image there, and in the boxes on the right, this is our terminology that's similar, but a little bit different. And you'll see that it relates to also many of the tests that we have on the Genius platform that you can go and actually take to dive a little bit deeper into these. For example, the first one, how much am I living my passion? So on the Ikigai here, doing, oh, hello. I'm a little bit click happy. How much are you doing what you love? This is your passion. So how much are you living your passion? 0 is not at all. I don't even know what that means. 10 is over the moon, cannot get better than this. Completely living my passion day in, day out. So grab a bit of paper, write your score down. How much are you living your passion? Okay, the second question is, how much are you living your purpose? On the Ikigai diagram here, this is what the world needs. You might refer to it as your mission. We look at it as how much you are living on purpose, living your purpose. If you don't know what your purpose is, maybe you're going to have a low score. If you feel you really are fulfilling that, maybe it's not at the degree that you want it, but you are doing it every day. And remember the ripple effect of, even if you're just working with one person, the impact that working with that one person has on all the people that they're connected with. Often I find here people underestimate how far their ripple goes in their impact. So have a score somewhere between 0 and 10. The next one is on this diagram, what you're good at. We call that talents. Here they've got it as your profession. So how much are you living your talents? You'll know if you feel like such joy in what you're doing, you're getting to play to your strengths. And if you're not, normally it's feelings like frustration or, gosh, I wish I could do this. I wish I could do that skill that I have. Like I'm not creating an opportunity for yourself to do it, maybe in your own business or if you work for someone as well. So how much are you living your talents? And then the fourth question there is, to what extent are you paid your worth? On the Ikigai diagram here, it's this one, what you can be paid for. Looking at that as your vocation, your job. For us, it can be your business, right? But what you take from the business. It's not just about having $1 million company that you actually only draw 50,000 from. You know, it's to what extent are you being paid your worth? Add up your score. You should have a score out of 40. Excuse me, my voice is a little bit rusty at 1:30 in the morning. So you should have a score out of 40. Here's what we're going to do. We're actually going to, in a moment, post it into the chat. But when you do, I want you to also add in there, what is the key area that you feel you want to put more focus on to actually lift that Ikigai score up? You're going to have a chance to go into a breakout room in a moment, share it with your peers in that group. But right now, let's post it in the chat. So we should see, you know, about 30 scores coming through. Okay, we've got some coming through now. 27 and 19s. Hi, Trish. Good to see you again. All right, we've got people in the 20s, people in the 30s. There is no right or wrong to this. It is just a snapshot on where you are right now. For me personally, at times, I have actually scored low. And yet I felt really good. I felt fulfilled. And I'm like, how is that the case? And it's when I've maybe just recently redefined my goals or redefined what is a 10 out of 10 for me, but I haven't yet brought it to form in or manifested it in this physical world. But I know I'm on track, hence why I've, you know, redefined that 10 out of 10. So don't worry if you have a low score. For some of you, if you have got a low score, you might be thinking, yeah, because there's some real points in there that I'm not happy with. So people are putting in your scores, but you're not putting in the key area that you want to focus on. So either jump back in to chat and put that in, or you can take a moment and share that with others in the breakout room when we go in there. Okay. We've got some getting paid, definitely on this morning's session. I would say 70% of people had being paid their worth. So very interesting that that was the theme that was coming up. Looks like it's a big one here as well. Okay, so that is the Ikigai, scoring your personal Ikigai. Definitely come back and do that again in 3 months' time. See that your Ikigai score is increasing. That's the goal. All right, so the next part of your life 5.0 that we want to look at is actually around your future vision. Now, again, maybe you've done this many times. It's always good to do it again because your understanding, your connectedness with what 10 out of 10 means for you is going to grow and change and evolve over time as well. This is, you don't need to write this down now. This is actually going to be in the submission work for you. So at the end of today, you can take some time to write out your future vision on your submission deck. You're going to have the exact same slides on there. The areas that we like to look at is clarity on where you are and where you're going. So this is projecting forward 1 year from now and writing intentionally, this is what my life looks like. When you're writing this, I really want you to own it from that space in a year's time. not as if it's a goal that you've got to constantly strive to get to, but as if it's a new standard that you're living, that this is how I live my life now. Not I want to live a life like this. I am living my life like this. Look also at the difference that you're making in the world. What does that mean to you? The wealth you're creating and growing for yourself, for your family, where you're living, where you're traveling to. Look at your health and how you're actually getting into flow, creating and growing and looking after and nurturing your health and your well-being. Your happiness, put here in a year's time, who are you? Who is this person that we are seeing? How do you show up each day? What's the emotions? What are you feeling? Your friends, the people that you're connected with, and your family, the life that your loved ones are experiencing. So there's a lot in that future vision right there. Really key aspects and areas to life. And again, this is about shifting from being reactional or feeling too busy to maybe devote to some of these areas, even though you want to, and really shifting into that intentional creation. So this is where you get to put your order in to the universe, to your greater self, and say, this is the game plan, guys, for the next year. This is who we are transforming into. This is what we are transforming in our life. So definitely take the time out this afternoon to write that. Remember, Lisa said there's prizes if you submit. I don't know what the prize is that you get tomorrow, but I'm sure, Lisa, you're going to surprise us with who a winner is going to be. Third part of creating a life 5.0 is about creating your perfect day. And this is bringing it back to the present. Even though I've got tomorrow on there, we're just giving you half a day grace. You can really start now. What does your perfect day look like? If you are waking up tomorrow as the best version of yourself, as an entrepreneur that is showing up, stepping up, playing full out, that is increasing their Ikigai score, making sure all your thoughts, feelings, and actions are in alignment to being your greatest self. What are you going to do differently from tomorrow or right now that's going to help you in each of these areas? So we look at insight. When you make time to know yourself better, when do you make time to know yourself better? What does that look like for you? If you are living your perfect day, maybe that's a ritual you do in the morning. Maybe it's reflection time at night. What is it? When is it that you make time to know yourself better? Impact what you do and when you do it to grow your contribution. It could be small, subtle, but significant. It could be a big time out to do something. What are you doing and when are you doing it to grow that contribution, that impact that you're making in this world? Maybe it's with your family, your community, your team, or a bigger project. Income. What are you doing and when are you doing it to grow your wealth? This might be how you're earning, how you're showing up and being a player to earn income and earn money. It can also be how you are affecting wealth. So you might not be the person that is showing up and doing the delivery or, being the musician out the front that is playing the songs to the audience. You might be the manager. You might be the owner of that band or an owner of that sporting team that has ace players in it. And that's when you're more affecting your wealth versus earning it by your day-to-day actions. So this could be different for everyone. What are you doing and when are you doing it to grow your wealth? Home. What are you doing and when are you doing it? You can see the theme, to enhance your environment. This could be the space that you live in, the way that you use your space, where you're living, where you're working as well. Health. What and when are you doing to grow your health? Again, starting tomorrow, your perfect day. So if every single one of these is a massive item that requires half a day to do something, that's not going to work, right? So this is sometimes the small things, doing a little bit, a lot, doing a little bit frequently, so that you can actually feel really fulfilled in these areas. Happiness. What are you doing? Where do you make time for the things that feed your fulfillment? What brings you joy? How does that fit into your day? Friends. When are you making time for your friends and connections? Really intentionally do that. Sometimes too big gaps of time go past and we think, oh, I haven't connected with anyone. I remember once complaining many, many years ago that I felt lonely. And my dear friend and business partner at the time said, Donna, you have no right to whinge until you have called every person in your phone book on your phone. Don't whinge to me that you feel lonely. And I went, fair point. Okay. It's like if we're overweight, well, if we don't get off our backside and do something about it, we should reserve the right to whinge. This is where you set your game plan, get intentional with it. Family. When in the day do you give time to your loved ones? Okay, maybe it's not every day. This is a bit of an average of your days, but this is your perfect day. If you're looking dependence, hopefully it is every day, but extended family as well. So take some time this afternoon to write out what your perfect day looks like. Then the fourth piece that you're going to do in creating your Life 5.0, this is around your contract of commitment to your future self, your greater self. Here, I want you to write a binding contract that you're going to make to yourself that I will, from this day forward, promise to be, to do, to show up like this. Okay? And how often and when will you review and remind yourself of this contract? Is it something you're going to put front and center and you do daily? Is there a time that you do on a Sunday? What is it? Maybe there's a family meeting time that you share these types of things with each other as well. You get to decide what this is, but the essence of it here is making a contract of commitment to your future self, making a promise to your future self that this is what I'm doing to bring you forward into existence. Otherwise, we're always, next month, another 6 months. It's okay. I know what my dreams are. I'll still do them in another year's time. This is now, right? Really, really powerful and important to do that. So that is the 4 key areas for creating a Life 5.0. Lisa, I'm going to hand back to you because I think it would be great to actually send people into some breakout rooms to look at their Ikigai score, talk about that. Here's what we actually would love for you to do. I'll bring it up on my screen, but I'll hand back to you, Lisa, to take us in.
Oh, absolutely beautiful, Donna. I loved those reflection components. That's the first time I've seen that, and it was really, really lovely. And everybody, I've dropped in the chat the slides for you to work on when you get time later today. And yeah, if you just want to reflect for just a moment as we're going into those breakout rooms, and it looks like it actually is 12 minutes, Valentina. So if you would make that little shift, and yeah, everybody is randomly assigned to the breakout rooms. You're going to discuss your Ikigai, and feel into, what priority area that you want to focus on. So when you go into the rooms to share, you're going to actually have, a couple of minutes apiece. So maybe somebody could be the timekeeper for you, and you could actually make sure that everybody gets a chance to share. All right. And so we'll see you back in 12 minutes. Okay. So Valentina, whenever you're ready to send everybody, just go right on in. See you back. Welcome back. Did you have fun sharing?
Yes. So Lisa, this is like beam me up, Scotty. We're being teleported.
It is. It is. It's pretty remarkable, isn't it, that we have that technology in this day and time. I love it.
If
So
only
type
it
in
was
the
that
chat,
easy
everybody.
to
I
get
know,
people
right?
back in the room.
It's so true. Yeah, type in the chat, everybody. Like, what was your big takeaway?
I think Q might still be talking to us. No, maybe not. Yes, you guys have all shared. I know there's never enough time, but you're going to have plenty of more chances to share. Each session you're going to be in sharing with each other. Great to meet new people. Yes, Trish.
Yeah, so we'd love a person or two to tell us like what the big thing was in your room, like what your big takeaway was. So Trish, go for it.
Just really briefly, I'm really clear that the timing of this class this week is really beneficial for the people in my room. Like, they all want to be up to something, and this is a chance to, actually make it happen. So I know that for me personally, I just finished with my camp season and wanted a week off, but this came up and I'm like, okay, here we go. I'm delighted, right? But Roberto, he's up to something, and Julie, she's up to something, and this week will give us a chance to really focus.
Excellent, excellent. And that is really one of the things that it is so wonderful for. So bravo for all of you. Yeah, thanks. Anybody else want to share what happened in their group?
I think for us, I was with Hatem, and he brought out the creative part, right? Because we're both creators, or no, he's a trader. I'm a creator. So he was asking me how as a creator can I incorporate that into my business. And so I was very keen that as a creator, I'm very good at creating the big vision, but not following through unless it's a client of mine or I have been assigned a task, right? But for my personal business and experience, is the follow through that I always have a hard time, because it's my business, it's me. So, and I'm full of ideas, right? And so how to incorporate that. And I was like, well, that's why we're in the class.
Exactly.
That's why I'm here.
Yeah, that's beautiful. And Christy, I love that you said your profile, and everybody, you can actually go, and I'll show anybody that doesn't know how to do this, but you can actually go over to your name where it says more and drop down. It'll say, rename yourself and add your profile. We'll definitely want that later. We have time for one more person. Eileen, go ahead. Let's hear it.
Okay, great. Well, I came in half an hour late, so I don't know what the Ikigai score is, but I had a great time with Rosemary, who is from Scotland. And we both have visions about altering the world and contributing to it in different ways, but it was delightful. There was a third person who couldn't talk, so it was just the two of us. It was great. Thank you.
Excellent. Excellent. Yeah, it makes a really big difference. And that's one of the things that I love about Entrepreneurs Institute is you get to meet people from all over the world. And those networking capacities, like really meeting and getting to know people, has made a big difference, I know, in my experience as an entrepreneur. So Donna, before we go on the break, is there like anything you want to add? Anything else you want to share?
Yeah, well, we've still got 4 minutes. Look at me being a creator running to a time run sheet. It's a bit of a joke for those who know me and maybe are on my circles. You know not to book something immediately after. I do run a little over time. However, we're going to stay on track here. So I would love to hear, because that whole session was about your life 5.0, but what you were sharing in your rooms hopefully was your Ikigai score and the one area that you want to focus on to improve it. So I would love to hear from someone who would like to specifically share their Ikigai score and the area that they're going to focus on to help increase that score. You can just open up your mic and start talking to me.
Nice.
Otherwise, I'll choose a compulsory volunteer.
Hildegard actually has her hand up.
Okay. Hildegard.
Yeah, hello. Good morning,
Hi.
everybody. I'm so happy to be here with you all. What came up for me was monetization of my gifts and talents.
What was your Ikigai score?
24.
Uh-huh. So then
And
getting paid.
for
more.
me to put my creative writing or my intuitive awareness consulting, put it forward, but I never do. I focus somewhere else, again, aligned with my vision of being a contribution. However, I'm not playing full out loud, you know? And that is what became clear to me doing that score. Thank you.
Beautiful. Well, and so follow through on the rest of the components of that Life 5.0. Write your future vision that will have your creativity, your passions, your love, but your business as well. And then, you know, what your day looks like, and most importantly, that commitment to yourself. So, you know, to play full out, I think is really important. You're in the right spot for the rest of the week. We're going to be looking at how you actually bring this to form and you commercialize it, which sometimes can feel strange when you do something that you love, that, you know, those stories that can be there as to why we don't commercialize it. We want to get rid of all of those this week. So that's awesome. You are in the right spot. Thank you, Hildegard.
Thank you, Donna.
Okay. Lisa, do we have one more, or is that it?
There's nobody else with their hand up. Does anybody else want to share real quick before we go to our first break? If not, I'll share about, yes, Miss Trish, you want to share, go for it.
So I don't know how many other people are in this boat, but so my score was 34. Super happy with my life, living my passion. For those who don't know me, I teach skating for a living, both at a skate school locally and worldwide. I certify people to be skate instructors, and business has been great. And I got team members and all sorts of stuff. But in January, I rebuilt my skate school from pre-COVID, right? We basically shut down and we opened up in a skate rink, and yeah, it's taken a lot, right? It's taken something to like build all of that. And you know, when you're going along for 20 years, you're just pushing a rock along a flat spot. And this year it's been me pushing it up a hill. But built a lot of team members, and you know, teams can push a rock up a hill much better. But my focus has totally been on that, and not on the project that I created, which is Sportspreneur, for you know, through Genius U Masters, which was a masterful program. And so I want to get back to that, right? Like I really had to set it aside. Believe it or not, I ran a couple programs because people were like, I really need this. And so I was like, okay. And so I'm at summer camp running Zoom sessions for it. But what my goal is to really focus on that and bring that back to my attention, because my slow season is September to March, and to really rebuild that out and get it so that it's kind of a natural thing, because it's my retirement plan.
Trish.
Like I'm
great. Yep.
Yep. So, yeah.
Yep.
Love it.
Beautiful.
I remember
Beautiful.
that plan, Trish.
Let's see that implemented. Absolutely. All right, everybody, it's time for break. We'll be back in 15 minutes. We'll be back at 15 after like 14 minutes. And if you need to know how to rename yourself, stay for a second and I'll tell you, but it looks like almost everybody's done it. So go take your break and I'll see you back in a little bit. And Donna, great session. Loved it. And good work, everybody. We'll see you back in a bit.